What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Scratch Golfers Mindset Podcast. Spoiler alert, this isn't just a golf mindset podcast. It's a peak performance and personal development podcast designed to help you get unstuck out of your own way and unlock your potential. My name's Paul Salter. I'm a high performance hypnotherapist and mindset coach. Buckle up. This conversation has the potential to change your life. This might be one of the most important experiences that you need to have to gain the clarity about who you are, where you are, and where you are going. I'm going to dive right in because here's the thing. There is something that is rarely talked about in the peak performance and personal development spaces, yet it might just be the most important and, dare I suggest, missing piece of the peak performance puzzle. And what I'm referring to is silence. Not meditation, not journaling, not breath work, not visualization, just silence. The absence of distraction. The absence of stimulation. The absence of input. And for many high achievers, especially the driven, ambitious, the ones constantly chasing growth, and I know you'll relate to this, silence is uncomfortable. Not because silence itself is inherently uncomfortable, but because what silence reveals. When you remove the noise, you remove the buffer. The buffer between you and your thoughts, you and your emotions, the buffer between you and the truths you've been outrunning, the lies you've been denying. Listen, look, most people aren't addicted to their phone, their music, the podcast, the to-do list, the busyness for the sake of being busy. They're addicted to distraction. Because distraction protects them from confronting the things they don't want to feel, the truths they don't want to admit, and the questions they don't want to answer. And yet, ironically, silence is where clarity lives. Silence is where intuition gets louder. Silence is where you meet yourself honestly, and sometimes for the first time in years. And in that meeting of silence with yourself, there's no performance, no role to play, no image to uphold. Just you. Raw, vulnerable, authentic you. And that can feel confronting because in silence, you can't outrun yourself. But here's the paradox. The very thing that you are avoiding is the exact thing that unlocks deeper awareness, clearer thinking, emotional freedom, and sustainable high performance. Silence isn't passive. Silence isn't empty. It isn't wasted time. Silence is the space where your inner world finally has room to speak. It's the environment in which you finally quiet the external noise, distraction, and temptation and sit with your most authentic, honest truth. And today, I'm going to invite you to share in this journey of silence with me. Because in just a moment, I myself am going to sit here in silence as a significant portion of this podcast episode. No music, no prompts, not even a side note or commentary. And you know that's hard for me to prevent doing. Just silence. And I'll plant the seed of awareness now. I just want you to simply notice what you notice. My invitation to you is simple. Don't skip it. Don't multitask as you let this episode run. Don't fill the space. Don't scroll. Don't talk. Be silent, present. Sit with it. Notice what happens. Because what shows up in silence is the very thing you've been needing to face, feel, or understand. So here we go. Congratulations and welcome back. 20 minutes of silence. What did you notice? Mentally, emotionally, physically? Was there an urge to move, to do, a difficulty sitting still? Perhaps initially, or maybe throughout. Did your mind anxiously travel to the future? Regretfully travel to the past? Were you ever able to settle, to truly be? The voice of your subconscious mind, which is home to your emotions, your memories, your beliefs, your habits, call it your intuition, your highest self, God, universe, spirit. The voice is silence. Sitting in silence and solitude as a daily practice is a guaranteed way to connect with yourself, to realign yourself, to ensure that you are remaining true to yourself, your values, and committed to your goals, on the right path toward your goals. Sitting in silence creates clarity. It removes the emotional fog. You're shown, you feel, you experience whatever it is you need to face, feel, understand, or experience. And just allow your mind to wander for a moment to the compounding effect of a daily practice of silence and solitude. The clarity, the authenticity, the confidence, the certainty, the level of commitment, each of which is upgraded and strengthened. It's a surefire way to accelerate becoming the best version of you. Now, I'd like to keep the remainder of this conversation intentionally short because my biggest recommendation, if you were courageous enough to sit in silence for 20 minutes, which kudos again to you, go journal. Or if you're on your phone, you don't have anything to physically write with, open up the notes app, a voice note, or just emotionally, mentally vomit whatever came up for you during that experience. A couple low-hanging fruit opportunities to begin infusing more silence. Of course, literally just setting your alarm for 10 minutes. I recommend 10 minutes a day of complete silence. Do it as part of your morning routine, as a part of your evening pre-bed routine. Do it in your car when you make that transition from work mode to mom or dad mode and significant other. Take a couple minutes of silence when you're in between meetings rather than using that awkward 3 to 4 minute gap to scroll or to check email. Sit, be, drive in silence. You don't need to make a call, listen to a podcast, audiobook, or music. Just be in silence with yourself. It is my hope that if you were courageous enough to complete this exercise, you found it incredibly valuable. I'd love to hear from you. What stood out? What did you learn, connect with, experience, or embody during that silence? Shoot me a DM on Instagram at the Paul Salter. Would love to hear from you and how this experience landed. There is so much power in silence. Today is noisier than ever before. The practice of sitting with yourself in silence creates clarity, alignment, confidence, and certainty. And that's a potent recipe, a cocktail, if you will, of success and unlocking your potential. If you found today's conversation valuable, hey, I ask that you share it. Share this conversation, share this podcast, this message alongside the message of the past 145 plus episodes with phenomenal, brilliant guests. All of their words, their wisdom, their experiences and learning lessons need to be heard by so many more. So I ask that you share this conversation, you share this podcast with a fellow high achiever who you know is routinely getting in a rut, stuck in their own ways, yet committed to becoming the best version of themselves. It takes 30 seconds to share. It also takes 30 seconds to leave a genuine rating or review on Apple Podcasts, which goes a long way in building up further street cred of the show to help me have the opportunity to continue to bring on a list of phenomenal, brilliant guests to provide you and myself with so much value. And hey, if I can support you in any way, getting out of your own way to unlock your potential and be the best you, apply for one-on-one coaching using the link in the show notes, or drop me a DM, Instagram @ThePaulSalter. Start this week strong. Seek out silence, and I'll catch you in Thursday's episode.